I call this MOC the Griffin's Roost because I got some of these Griffin Knights, and I even made some custom ones, and I needed a base for them. I saw this MOC on Rebrickable. It is by the creator Sporter, and he calls it the Medieval Town Tavern. But I think this makes a real cool little small outpost base for my dudes. So this is made with the medieval castle creator set that I've made a whole bunch of MOCs from. And this one was fantastic, although I did have some problems putting it together with the instructions. I was missing about 6 of the parts. You know, you just take apart a set, rebuild it over and over. You lose a couple pieces here and there. But also, I was just able to replace most of those with pieces in my collection. However, I did add about 6 or 7 of my own individual pieces to do a slight modification because it had in the original instructions this bit pushed inside of the tower, and I think digitally it just it wasn't fitting proper. I don't know what I was doing because I followed it exact, but it just wouldn't fit. So I ended up popping this out one by just using a couple extra tiles and shifting around the spacing of things for that. But I was able to make it work, and I think it looks real good. That was the only issue with this MOC, that and a couple fragile steps right when you're building an archway, and I'll show you that when we open the set up. But I love how this thing looks, and I highly recommend downloading the instructions and building this yourself because it was a blast, and you'll get to still stretch your creative muscles if you need to do any modifications or do stuff for yourself, which I did. This blacksmith guy's just a little custom guy I have, and I added him in. I also made the anvil here using my own parts as opposed to the anvil that was in the instructions. But very cool, very cool. I like this little chicken pen. I thought that was real fun. But we can actually detach this this area right here, and these are 2 separate modules that break apart. And you can set those off to the side, and doing that allows us to fold this open. And you can fold it open like that and click either of these 2 modules into this corner spot right there, however you like. And you can lock it like that. Or you can just do a full fold out and it'll click and lock in place like that. And I think that's pretty righteous looking. And we can get a look at the interior. This is how it looks. Very cool. Over here by the gated entrance we have a stove, and next to it we got a little bar area here, which is pretty cute. And opposite of that we have this eatery area, which leads out into that open area with the dock. And over here we got a basket full of food stuff. I like that little Target set up there. If we go to the top floor up here, we have the entrance way with the stairwell leading right there, and next to that we have this room with a nice yellow chair. We got that Griffin shield mounted on the wall, a little pot of plants, and a treasure chest full of goodies. And up above this on the tower, I built a little weapons rack and put a torch back there, but the room was empty in the instructions, so that's all the spare parts. Over here we got a nice little bedroom here, just a big old bed, and we got a little quill by the bed and a lamp, a candle, so that's real cute. I like that. And up tippy top, now there is a little wall you can build to block that off, but I took that off just because I like having the open entrance accessible for that big throne. I think that's cool. And if you look there, we got a fireplace, and on this side we got a little bucket. So I'm not sure what the bucket's supposed to be. Is that like a bathroom or something? I hope not. That's gross. Especially if it's in your throne room. But I like that fireplace. Always good to have some water on hand if you got fire going. Over here is just a little pop-out room. There's nothing much to do in there, and that's more aesthetically for the outside. But real cute. I like this set a lot. I think the full interior there looks real good. These two side builds are absolutely fantastic considering you do them after building the main structure. I like how this tree was put together with the limited parts, and this cute little well area is nice. But I absolutely love the details of this little forgery area. I love this whole dock railing here, and now this was a blank shield that I put in there myself. I thought that worked, and to make it kind of go into the griffins here. But I really do like how this was put together. The stairway here was really cleverly done, and I like how they're loose, so you can kind of adjust the steps to be a little bit rickety. You know, this one you can move however far you like. Well, you can for all of them. Again, you know, this, I have a different anvil than the one in the instructions because I like the one that I built myself. But well, let's just set him to the side. But I thought this one was pretty cool. I like it a lot. This here is the anvil that has us building the instructions, though. And it's not bad, but I just like the one I'd previously built better, so I just ported it over to the MOC. But yeah, I really like this forge. I think that's super cute. I also really like this little chicken pen here and the carrying over that brick-built chicken design. Those are fun. The flow of this set is great with this stairway leading up to the doorway, which goes out to the balcony and leads to the doorway to the room. So very cool. I love how that just flows. Works real well, and you can tell my griffins are enjoying their self at home. This was real simple, but added a real nice touch. And I like how the windows are angled slightly using those little ball joint pieces. This archway is the one that collapsed on me like 3 or 4 times as I was building, but honestly, my fault. Putting too much pressure from the top. You know, first time builds instructions, MOCs, whatever, you know, sometimes a little bit of fragility, not as refined as Lego instructions, but after the first time, the rest of them were my fault for not paying attention.
Griffin faction roll call.
Battle ready, Dirk is on guard. Morty's hard at work at the forge. Wife to Morty the blacksmith, Stella the sorceress is the true leader of the Griffins. Betty's relaxing after a hard battle. The resident caretaker, Marge, keeps everyone fed and everything clean. Archer Gibson keeps watch from the tower with his keen eyes. I especially like him. I kit bashed him together to be a custom Griffin Knight using a bunch of parts from various different minifigures. I think he blends in pretty well with the rest of them too.
My biggest criticism of this MOC set was the fact that this whole area here didn't quite work for me, and I had to use a couple of my extra pieces to adjust this and pop it out by one stud so it didn't slide in and get blocked off with the improper clearance. And that was just kind of fun though, because I had to figure something out, and I had the parts to actually do it. If I didn't have the parts, I would have been kind of ticked. But the other thing, and this is a more realistic but dumb one, is some of the spacing. Like you can't really fit on the stairs too well, or in this entryway. You're not going to fit characters through some of these tight walkway spaces. That's just aesthetically pleasing but not really functional. So the playability of this set is very minimal. That and the fact that you gotta pop this whole side area thing to be able to open the set up, which is a little bit of a pain, but it also makes for a very secure latch to keep the thing closed, I tell you what. And it's just a nice little fun side build too. Like, I like that. That's pretty cool. So that's not even really a negative. That's just something to point out that the ease of access is not quite as good. And, you know, it is not super playable with some of the tight spaces and things. But I've played with and messed around with way worse and smaller than that. Big recommendations, though. I give this I will give it like an 8.5, but I don't really do half. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a 9 out of 10 lawn flamingos, especially considering the instructions are free. This is a winner, and if you have this creator castle set this was built from, I highly recommend it. Thank you for joining me, and I'm looking forward to showing you some cool Lego stuff next week.